all these people that join network marketing companies, and what they see is they think they're going to be jumping into this business where they're just going to be selling. Like people sell mascara, people sell It Works, people sell all this stuff. And what they find is when they come into this, they're like, man, like I've been working out, like I've been connecting with people, I'm feeling better, my anxiety is reduced, like we're reading books to like better you. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know if you guys are feeling that vibe, but like I know I sound like a complete psycho because I'm like, I'm so excited because I'm like growing so much, but the downside of it is, and my husband and I were actually talking about this today. Hey, Brian, I see you jumping on. Yeah. The downside of it is, and I actually dealt with this morning, and I was actually started crying. Hey, Brian. I actually started crying before I went to work today because I had another person that's part of the team, which I'm just going to go ahead and say it because I'm unapologetically me and I don't even care, was like super bringing me down about a lot of stuff, and they're not part of our team, but it's like a whole nother like situation. And as I feel like as we grow and as we start weeding out negativity, sometimes people that are close to you kind of pull away from you. Have you guys noticed that a little bit? But it kind of replaces it with more positive people. And I don't know if you guys are dealing with that, but I actually reached out to somebody today and I was like, hey, I don't want to tell you too much of the story because I'm recording this. But I was like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, man, all you care about is your business and you're super freaking selfish. And I like started crying and I was like, eh. And then sometimes you'll get stuff from your parents. I don't know how most of you guys are like super young still, and some of you are like my age, and some of you are older. But as you start to live a positive lifestyle and as you start to like weed out negativity, have you guys like noticed that a lot of people are uber negative around you? Like raise your hand if you feel like that. Like I have all like I go into work in the morning and I still teach in the mornings. So when I go into work, and I'm not saying this like, hey, look at me, like, because I'm suffering, but I'm still positive. Does that make sense? Like I'm suffering, but I'm still positive. And I go into work in the morning and I get so much negativity because I still teach for 3 hours in the morning. And by the time I get there at 9, because I teach at a career center, everybody is like dragging in. And I've been up for 4 hours. You know, I've worked out, I've posted in the groups, I've loaded the dishwasher, I've probably ate like 18 meals. And like, you know, and people are so negative. It's like, I just feel like Beachbody needs to just take over and like take on the world and just help people, even if we never like sell them anything. Like, do you guys feel like that? Like do you start to notice like that super negativity? I think that I've just been absorbing it lately. I get it from like my parents are totally on board now. It took them 2 years and they drink Shakeology, both of my parents. Had some major negativity this morning from some people. And when I go into work, people are like, man, like, bet you you're not going to eat that. Like, bet you work out all the time, or just stupid, crazy stuff that the only thing I can tell you is as some people like try to bring you down, you just have to remember that you got the business. Okay. The business is the business. Okay. But you also have yourself that you're trying to grow. Like you have yourself, your family, you're reading personal development, you're working out, you're eating healthy. That's hard. You know, especially when you start going on these trips and not only do you have to eat and work out, and then you have to like fix your eyebrows and get your hair done. It's exhausting. But anyways, so I know I'm kind of going on a tangent, but I want you guys to know if you ever start dealing with that negativity, that it's super normal, but all you can do is not get defensive. Because I know a lot of you guys reach out to me constantly about people being negative. The only thing you can do is offer people more love and try to stay positive. Because for me, I get on the super defensive and I'm like, oh my God, I thought I was super awesome. Like, why are you yelling at me? And it's like, it's kind of hurtful. And I see you, Danielle, shaking your head, yes. But people eventually will see that you haven't just gone off your rocker and joined some crazy club, and that you're really, you know, I feel like there's different levels of success. You could make tons of money in Beachbody and you could be a star diamond and do all this stuff, but you could just like fight depression, you could fight anxiety, you could lose weight, you could read personal development. So I feel like they're both weighted the same as success. So just kind of look at it that way. So anyways, all right. So if you guys have been following what's been going on with Boom Empire Fitness, I was able to go to LA this week, and oh my God, was it so exciting. It was so crazy. I don't know if you guys follow the top 10 Beachbody coaches, but you need to look them up and start following them. And I was able to sit at the table. I feel like a super teacher right now because I'm like, raise your hand if you know who Melanie Mitro is. But I was able to see her speak. I was able to talk to her, and she's the #1 Beachbody coach. She is the #1 Beachbody coach for years. And she came up with so much stuff and talked to me and about our team and for how we can grow. And she was actually pretty impressed with what we already are doing, but she also gave me some major tips of what we needed to stop doing. Okay. So you know how you have a to-do list? You also should have a stop doing list. And I know some of you guys are fairly new in this process, but just kind of write down notes, I guess, and kind of refer to them later. And one of the things that she talked to me about was having a marketing plan. So you can't really see it. I told my husband, because we're about to sell our house and get a different house, I was like, when we get a different house, I need a good light. Like everything's yellow. I feel like all my pictures are yellow too, so I can have a light to show you. But this is this says February. We'll just March. Sorry. But you should have a marketing plan. Like, what are you doing and where are you going? Like, do you guys just wake up and then you're like, I'm going to check in the group and I'm going to comment on everybody's stuff and then I'm going to work out? Like, that's cool and all, but like if you're running a business, you need to have a marketing plan. So I challenge you to write out, this is from Melanie, like we sat there and like went over this whole marketing plan. And if you don't know who Melanie Mitro is, you need to not friend her, but follow her on Facebook. So on Saturday, the first day of the month, you should be launching an event. So this week was, hey, Lori, this week was the first week of the month. So I picked a theme, and my theme was, no, I don't even know what my theme was. I'm like, I should have had notes. But my theme was pretty much like not giving up, and it was being determined. That's what it was, being determined and saved. So for the whole week, all of my posts had something with being determined. Start where you are. Hold on one second because I want to get this note really quick. I have papers like everywhere. Hold on. This is like really important, but it's like start where you are and come up with a marketing plan so that you have a true vision of what you're going to do. And basically, if you are going to be successful in this business, one of my biggest takeaways is you need to master the mechanics in an imperfect environment. And when they said that, I was like, oh my God, that is so, sorry I keep getting up. You guys should see like my desk around me. There's like 85 pieces of paper. Mastering the mechanics in an imperfect environment. So coming up with a marketing plan that even though you have kids, even though you have your dog dies, like you're stressed out, like you're running here and there, okay, how are you going to master your mechanics in an imperfect environment, and how are you going to start where you are? And when she talked to me about that, I was like, you know what? That is so true, because sometimes, even as far as I've gotten, I jump on the computer and I have no direction. It's March 1st and I'm like, we start going. So basically what you should do is print out a March calendar and pick a theme for the week. Like I'm talking about being determined this week, even though my son peed his pants. Like that shit's real, like it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's kind of stressful when you're finally get to the park and your kid pees your pants and you don't have anything, getting up in the morning, and even though you had a late night, you're determined, because and don't create a perfect environment in your living room. I used to clean it perfectly or like move all the crap to the side, because then it shows people that you're too perfect and that they can't do what you do. And I did that for a while, and 90% of the coaches I tried to recruit were like, I could never do what you did, like what you're doing. So you got to be really careful when you put yourself out there that you stay relatable. So she also says, and that's why I kind of set up our month for us, that you need to have a plan. And I set that up for us just so you guys know what's going on. Like I have our coaching recruitment that starts, I think it's March 14th. I don't have that I have like 9 calendars. I don't have that one in front of me. We have our masters group. You guys have probably noticed this, but our current summer bodies are made in the winter. You have about 20 people that are posting every day, killing it. And then all the people that are struggling to get up, kind of where we started, where are they? Right? So the marketing plan for this month was that I moved all of the coaches, people like Charity Preston, I think it's Preston. She's not a coach, she's a challenger. She's doing a great job, but that might intimidate, do you know what I'm saying, a new person. Because they might not think like, man, I can only work out for 5 minutes. Look at this girl killing it. That's very intimidating. So I've moved everybody that's done a challenge with me or us two rounds in a row to a group called the Masters. In the group, the Masters will be run by Heather Swindell. I'm going to let her take the reins on that because if you guys even saw the depth of what I do in a day, you'd be like, oh my God. I'm going to kind of let her take the reins on that. And then all the new people we add on. I know, Suzanne, you had a question about that. Megan, you're kind of running your own group. Laura, you might have some new people. And there's a few other people that are chiming in. We're going to start over on Saturday with a new pre-week and all of that of post going through in the March into Fitness. And then we have the Masters group, which is all the people that already know what they're doing and just a little bit of accountability. Does anybody have questions on that part of the marketing plan? Okay. Then we have the sneak peek into coaching that we're going to do. I think that's is that on the 6th or the 13th? Does anybody know? The 6th. No, 13th. Thank you, Shanice. I'm like, 6. That is on the 13th. So there is the training side of your business where you are training and learning skills. Then you have your workout part where you're recruiting people to join your workouts. But then say there might be some people that you think might be an awesome coach. And I'm just going to use Suzanne for an example. A year and a half ago, I probably would have never invited Suzanne because I was still working on me and I would have been super intimidated by inviting somebody that was killing it, was teaching Zumba classes, and it was kind of like intimidating to me. But what I found was if I just got out of my comfort zone and reached out to people, like I love dancing. Like I think it's awesome women that hold it down and, you know, do all of these things. But for me, I was kind of scared to recruit coaches. I mean, raise your hand if you were like scared to recruit coaches and just invite them to coaching right away. I mean, I know you guys are. So we have our challengers, but then we have our coaches. So when we started doing those coach recruitment things, I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out to Suzanne and I'm going to reach out to Deidre. I think Deidre is on here. A few other new coaches that I have. And even Megan. Like Megan and I knew each other like way back, and she kind of jumped into Beachbody for a little bit and went back out. And she's the kind of person that I would want on my team to build a business. Teacher, super smart, organized, motivated. So kind of make yourself a list of 30 people that you would be scared to invite to join you and ask them, because you might be surprised. They like might actually join you. So we have that, and then those people will go into that group. We also, I know that Facebook is super stressful with all the notifications. And I have a lot of coaches, guys, but I have a lot of coaches that also quit. Not a lot, like probably one a week, which is like pretty low turnover rate in hindsight if you're signing like 10 to 15 coaches a month. And basically, I'm sorry, my daughter just came in here. I'm like, what's going on? But turn off. Oh wait, she's listening. Sorry. Oh yeah, you're listening. Hey Deidre. Yeah, I was like, I'd be super intimidated to invite you. And then I was like, hey girl, do you want to join me? She was like, yeah. I'm like, really? You want to join us? And she's awesome. I can't wait for you guys to meet her. But basically what I want you guys to do, if you're overwhelmed with Facebook and your phone going off, turn your notifications off. Does everybody know how to turn your notifications off so your phone isn't constantly beeping? Raise your hand if you don't know how to do that. It will drive you nuts and it will drain your battery. Okay. Let me show you really quick. I feel like these are little, like the little, wait, hold on. Annie keeps messaging me because they're like, I just got from LA and then the other girls on our team are all in Vegas. I'm like, I kind of got to hang out with my family, guys. Okay. So to turn off your notifications, there's this little wheel down here. And you can hide your groups. You can turn off your chat. Turn that off so that your phone stops going off, and turn off your chat on your phone so that when you're out with your family and somebody is like, you know, your phone is blowing up, you go in your settings and turn Facebook off. Okay. I know these are little things that we like never really talk about, but they're kind of important things. Because otherwise you're going to be, I don't want you guys to make the same mistake I did, but you're going to be like a slave to your like phone, and the people around you in your life are going to get super frustrated because they're going to think you're always on your phone. I mean, do you guys ever feel like your significant other or children, like you feel bad because you're always on your phone or you're like disconnected? The biggest mistake that I made when I first started building this was, as I had a lot of scattered focus, so I would do small increments of time. From 5:30 to 8:30 at night, if you have a family, that should be your family time. Completely your family time. You need to see your husband, you need to see your kids, like you need to do all that stuff, and then you can do some work during the day, but make sure you turn those notifications off and you check into your check into the challenge groups. I do morning, noon, and night, 3 times a day. I used to go in every 10 seconds. Like somebody was like, hey girl, I'm like, what? You know, so don't do that because I don't want you to end up like crazy like I was there for a little bit. So that's important. Turn those off. Sorry, I have a list. I feel like I'm just like, usually our calls are a training, but I kind of made a list of things I wanted to go over with for us to stop doing and make sure you guys are on board. I took Coach Basics off of Facebook. Have you guys noticed that? Coach Basics, I completely took off of Facebook and I put it on the Challenge Tracker app. So, Jacqueline, you're in that. Do you like it better on the app than on Facebook? Do you feel like it's better on the app? It kind of lessens the notifications. And anybody that is in Coach Basics right now, and you guys that are on this call, we're ending Coach Basics on Sunday. When we end Coach Basics on Sunday, Susan, Megan, Danielle, Jacqueline, Brian hasn't done Coach Basics yet, Shanice, Lori, Michelle, and the 2 phone numbers that called in. I don't know. I can't remember who you guys are. Jennifer and then somebody else. Maybe Angel's on there. You guys are going to move into another group that is on the Challenge Tracker app. And it's going to be how to come out as a Beachbody coach and not mess it up on your Facebook wall. Okay. And Lori, I see you laughing right now because you're probably like, how do I even like come out as a Beachbody coach? And when it's kind of funny because like you could totally mess it up. Like you could do one post with this is my Sagi, like I won this in LA, by the way, this gold trophy. Are you super jealous? It was like called Pop the Competition. And I was like, you'll have to pry this like out of my cold dead hands because I'm going to win. And you know I did. But, anyway, like you could come out as a Beachbody coach and like stand there with your shaker cup and be like, if you want to know more about Shakeology, let me know. You will never have a sale for like 6 months. So the next training that I have, and I was able to talk with this girl in LA, and she helped me with it. It's like how to come out as a Beachbody coach, how to post authentically, like how to reach an audience. So when you're posting on Facebook, like you should be reaching an audience. Like I talk to moms, people, I'm in a hair struggle always. Like my blonde never comes out right. So I always am obsessed with people's like hair that's right. So that's my tribe. You know, like people who have kids, people who like wine, even though I don't really drink that much wine, but I really like it. Traveling, things like that. So when I put my post out there, I'm not speaking to everybody because you guys might eventually, when you're reaching out to these people and they become coaches, you might be sharing a hotel room with them one day. So if somebody is not like you, and some of my coaches that I met in the beginning that are not like me, it doesn't work out. So you got to think about your audience that you're speaking to. So I'm going to pretend we're playing school right now. So I'm going to ask Shanice. So if you were putting a post out there, Shanice, who would your audience be? Like, who would you be talking to?
I would probably talk to, I guess, college kids, which is hard sometimes because all college kids are really broke. But I would talk to, like, kids like me who are, like, in school or who initially, I guess, just work out for fun, just to, I guess, feel good. Because I'm usually stressed a lot, and working out relieves my stress. So I guess people who need that kind of comfort.
Right. So your post should be talking about, are you stressed out? Do you feel overwhelmed? Are you too stressed out? A lot of people are like, oh, work out. That's one more thing I have to do. And when people tell me, guys, that they're too busy, you know what the first thing I tell them is? Well, that's great because my program is perfect for the busy.
Yeah.
Them right away. Well, that's awesome because I go to the gym too, guys. You know how many times I go to the gym when I actually pack my bag and go 1 day a week. So Suzanne, if you were talking to your audience, who are you speaking to? Like who are the people that when your message goes out there that they can relate to you? And I have a couple of things that I would think it would be, but I want to see what you say. I'm putting you on the spot.
And I don't mean this like mean or negative in any way, but like moms of many kids, like maybe not just moms of one, but moms that have like 4 and 5 kids because I have 4 kids.
Oh.
And because there's just a big difference between 1 and 4 kids. And also like I just the teacher population. There's just of course there's a lot of teachers are pretty discouraged now with a lot of things going on, and a lot of them are just not happy. So they're a big reach out. The special needs population is a big reach out. Those parents there and those families, because oftentimes those mamas need some break too.
Yeah. So special needs moms who, you know, as you're talking about, like your post was up, like I saw that where you were outside with your son today, like that was really cool. Like that's going to draw in like some of your like viewers, and your kids are stretching in the living room. Like you are reaching your audience, because if I had 4 kids, I would give up. I would be like, oh my God, I have 4 kids. Like I can't even, like I would just be like knee deep in like the Doritos. Like I would be like freaking out. And that's so motivating because, and other moms need to see that. You know, they need to see that it can be done, because we know as fellow moms, we give up. I mean, you just are like, this is the way it's going to be. And you start to be anxiety ridden, and then your marriage. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I wasn't in Beachbody and I wasn't working out and I was overweight, it filtered into my marriage, into my relationships. Even though we don't want to admit that, because of course I wasn't wrong, but yeah. So you really need to think about to your audience when you're, because if you're just posting that you worked out today, or like I'm doing core de force in my living room, no, I'm not saying nobody cares, but try to tie in, breadcrumb your story a little bit into it as you're posting. So the other thing that I wanted to show you, I see something in the chat here. More challenges will be added to the if we add more challengers, yes. Lori, basically what's going to happen with that is once you have challengers that have gone through the challenge twice successfully, they got to go to the graduates group. And most coaches, like 80% of coaches, once you go through a 30-day challenge, they don't put you back in a challenge. But I think that's ridiculous, because if you're not back in a challenge with me, you're not going to be motivated. You're not going to stay on Shakeology, and then nobody's going to make any money, right? So you need that constant motivation. When you're with me for a while, forever. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to show you is, and then we'll be done here in a second. Usually I actually train you guys on something, but I kind of wanted to show you all the stuff that I post about all day, and you're like, what's going on? Okay. In the files tab, if you're on a computer, you can't see this on your phone. There is, it's this one, this tracker. And on this tracker, when you click on it, you can fill this in, like save it and fill it in for yourself. So I used to give you guys like list of like what to do as a coach. So workout, you mark it with a 1. Like if you don't mark it on here because this is like a view only, you'd have to save it and then do it on your own. So your workouts, your Shakeology, personal development. If you're not growing personally, like you guys, I read like literally like, I mean, tons and tons of books. And I'm lying, I don't read them. These are ones I actually got for free. But I listen to so many audibles, so much to grow, because you have to learn how to handle objections. If you're feeling down or knowing how to connect with people, you have to read personal development. Your quality social media post. Don't just post that you're in your kitchen and you packed a healthy lunch, like healthy lunch packed, and post it on your wall. You'll be killing your business. Post that stuff in the challenge group. A quality post, recruiting about your day, breadcrumbing, connecting with others. Follow-ups, adding people to your network. Every night before I go to bed, I go to a mom's group, Macaroni Kids, Run Greenville, Zumba class, Color Run, Spartanburg. There is a Sparkle City Soul Sliders group. There is Anytime Fitness, and I randomly friend 20 people before I go to bed. Okay. Just so I have those people that I can accept and say, thanks for the friend request, sending positive vibes your way. Remember I taught you guys that? You write it down on your piece of paper, then you invite them maybe a week later. Forming, people, send you a friend request. You say, thanks for, can you guys see this right now? My tracker. You form people, meaning you talk to them like, thanks for the friend request, or you reach out to old people from high school or old friends. Forming means, how's it going with the family? What's your occupation? What was R, Shanice? Do you remember? I think R was, I don't remember what R was. I'll have to get that to you guys. And then M, you finally send your message. So if you're asking people, would you like to join my fitness challenge? And then they say, yeah, send me the information. And you send them what comes in a challenge pack and how much it costs, you blew it. You say, hey, I'd love to tell you more about it. What are your current fitness goals? Looks like you had a great time at the birthday party with Sarah's 3rd birthday party this weekend. You got to go to their wall to get like information, because if you just throw it at them, you're going to kill your business. So be careful with that. How many challenge packs you sold, and then fill this in weekly. Instagram, we haven't gone over Instagram that much yet. We're going to do that. Have you actually done your Coach Basics homework? And those of you going into Pathway to Diamond and shooting Pathway to Diamond and stuff like that, you want to track your homework. Okay, we only have like 5 more minutes. So the last thing, okay, there's one more thing on my list. I know this is like the most boringest call ever. Normally I give you some like awesome, like inspirational, we can do hard things kind of stuff, but I want to show you some of these cool things. Okay, best training site ever. Now, I met this girl at Leadership, and she gave me her whole training website, and I'm actually having this converted into Boom Empire's like I'm taking her stuff and we're rewriting it and making it for us. And it's okay. So daily post for all trainings, free group ideas, step-by-step, how to deal with objections, inviting a new coach about a note to new coaches about inviting, every script, really cool stuff that you would ever need to know. Like, what if you're following up with people and they go ghost? Or what about if somebody's about to go inactive? Or what about if you have a negative or complaining coach? I could have used that earlier. Another other message, transferring volume, like everything that you would ever need to know is on here. So public examples of invites. Like, what do you post on your wall to invite people? These are examples about like posts that you could do. And it says, what if you just start? So you could show your before and after. It doesn't have to be a physical transformation. You could do like a mental one where you're just like, ugh, and then why did that do that? Oh, it made it bigger. You're like, ugh, and then all of a sudden you're like happy. Like it sounds dumb, but you could talk about how being part of a group like made you feel better. So these are all the examples of posts that you can put on your wall that are worded amazingly. Like this stuff is, I hate to say it's money, but it really is. And if you're like, wow, I have no idea how to make this stuff, you can go to fiver.com or Canva. And anything that I've ever done, guys, I don't really know how to do it. I just try to figure it out. So I go to canva.com. These templates are already made. That'd probably be, you hold a piece of white paper, take a picture of yourself, and then you can make the stuff. If that seems too complex, you could just post a picture of yourself in a shirt from Target. I buy all of those, which you've probably noticed, or Kohl's, and they're super cheap. So all of these are hundreds and hundreds of posts that you can put on your wall. I mean, there's tons of them. How to follow up, challenge. Did you guys see those new posts about the potty squats, like going to the potty and squatting? Did you see how my posts all of a sudden got way better? Not mine. I'd love to take credit for that. You're probably like, wow, Marie really stepped it up. Like this girl helped me and gave me like hundreds and hundreds of posts. I mean, I tweaked them, but it really did make a difference. So all of that stuff is in there. So yay, Boom Empire, getting all that. I'm excited. So before we go, what questions do you guys have? Oh, wait, I do have one more thing. A lot of you guys have been selling challenge packs and changing lives, okay? Please message me and ask me for the breakdown where you can show people how they can save on Shakeology. So if they sign up as a coach or a discount customer, I broke it down into that they save $35 a month by being a coach. The week before their Shakeology is billed, you should be reaching out to them to turn them into a coach, because the goal would be is that you would hit diamond and then 2-star. So if I never sold anything, honestly, you probably wonder how much money I make. If I never sold anything, I guess I have to do an income disclaimer on that. But if over Christmas, I never sold anything, and with my bonuses and cycling, I still would hit around $3,000 a month if I never even signed into my computer. So it's really important. And it made more than that, but that was if I never did anything. So if you want to build rank and do that, that's just in bonuses. So you really want to convert those challenge pack customers into coaches if you want to. Just a suggestion. Okay. So what questions do you guys have? Anyone? Did I completely probably confuse you and mess you up? I bet. I talked really fast. I guess you don't really have to worry about the marketing plan as much, because I already laid out the framework for us. Do you know what I mean? And posted that calendar, which you probably can't see it if you're on your phone. That's the biggest problem that we have. If you're on your phone and don't have a laptop. So if you need the marketing calendar when stuff's happening, and we don't work on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as you can see, I gave us 4 days, but I put stuff on here. All right. So I hope that call was super helpful for you guys. I have some best-selling authors that I reached out to, and a couple network marketing gurus that are going to be speakers on our calls the rest of the month. I can't think of anything else really right now, unless anybody else has any more questions. Was that helpful? Kind of explained what we were doing and what was going on?
I had a question.
Yeah.
I think Lori probably had the same question. So for someone who I guess buys a challenge pack within, I don't know, the next couple of weeks or something, do we just put them in the group that we're in now, the Summer Bodies group? Or
this is what I do, because if they get their challenge pack and they wait, they're going to have too much Shakeology, and then they're going to be billed again, and then they're going to go, it just messes the whole thing up. So if you come in, okay, so there's pre-week, and then within that first week and a half, I have a one-on-one call with them, and I go over pre-week measurements, containers, calorie counts, all of that. Okay. So I go over all of that stuff with them. Then what I do is I put them in there and let them finish it out, because really the only first 2 weeks are the logistics of it. Everything else is just accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do. Some coaches don't, but the successful ones, I feel like they do, because if you sit and hold that challenge pack, you're going to postpone your Shakeology, and then you're less likely to sign up as a coach, and it's going to throw your whole month momentum off.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would like me to have a one-on-one call with them with you like this to go over files tab, calorie count, measurements, I will help you do it the first time so you feel comfortable, and then you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Can you just so not filling up your message, but could you send me the breakdown of the Shakeology and when to start questioning them about turning a challenger into a coach?
Yes, I will.